Hello. How you guys doing? So first, do any of you guys remember submitting what you wanted to talk about for this TED Talk thing in the fall? Any of you? Raise your hand if you did. Raise your hand if you did not. Yeah, I had no idea that I had submitted this, and then Max texted me. He's like, "Hey, want to give a TED Talk?" I was like, "Sure. What on?" And he's like, "Well, this is the prompt that you submitted." And I was like, "Wow, I don't know if I've learned anything from losing in Madden." So I went on a journey, and I came up with some cool things. So this is where my love for football started. Growing up, I was really small. Like really small, and I'm not saying that small people can't be good in football, but I was not. I played 1 year and I was horrible. So this is where I just kind of allowed my love for football to grow. I played a lot on the Super Nintendo, and then eventually NCAA. I played a lot on the Xbox 360, and I didn't do a whole lot of like online gaming headset stuff. I just played, and I just created a lot of teams and a lot of guys. I'm not gonna lie, I think I won a few Heisman trophies here at Utah State, if I'm not mistaken. So anyways, this game's coming back this year, by the way, if anyone likes that. And then I got into Madden. I didn't play a whole lot of that by myself, but it became a really cool way for me to connect with other people, and play against them. And since I had played for this pretty much my whole life, this was like my game. This is what I did during my free time when I was bored and had nothing else to do. I was pretty good, and I didn't lose a whole lot. And so when I did lose, it was really frustrating, and I hated losing. I'm a really competitive person. We could have like a eating contest, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I am so competitive and I hate losing. And so I guess when losing in Madden, especially when I had played it so much, it was frustrating for me, and I wanted to, I learned quite a bit from that, even though I rarely lost because I was so good, right? Anyways, didn't set any state records though, so. Anyways, first thing I wanted to mention is don't be afraid to do things your way. So when I play Madden, I like to stand up, and it looks pretty weird, especially like when the other guy is sitting down, totally relaxed, and I'm just standing up, pacing back and forth. And it also, I also use a really conservative play style. A lot of you who've played games like that, you know that don't really ever punt on fourth down, go for it, and it's a really aggressive, usually, play style that, again, if you're playing against someone. I don't really use that style, and so a lot of people laughed at me, made fun of me, probably because they felt bad because they were losing. But just don't be afraid to do things your own way, right? Because if that's what you need to do to win, then do it. So I don't know if anyone knows who this is. This is Jason Williams. He played in the NBA for quite a few years. His nickname was White Chocolate. First of all, what an epic nickname. Second, he won an NBA championship with the Heat. He was an all-star. He had a really successful career, and he did things his way. So I just wanted to show, let's see. I wanted to show just a short clip of some of his highlights.
58-54. Oh, what a pass! Oh, boy! Jason Williams, and we'll see you on the nightly highlight shows from coast to coast.
Sacramento with numbers. Williams pushing it. Line pass to Anderson for the reverse.
If you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. Mile away.
They're starting to be productive again.
Jason Williams sets up D-Box with the showtime look.
You miss one, you come right back and take the next one.
Nice feed from Williams to...
Guys, this highlight clip is like 12 minutes long, and it's just his passes. So that gives you an idea of like his style of play. Super unique, but he was really successful. Imagine if he had decided to take the route. I'd imagine at some point in his career, some high school coach was like, "Bro, stop doing this. Just pass the ball normally, just a chest pass, you know, fundamentals." But he didn't do that. He took his own approach, and that was what made him successful. That's what won him an NBA Finals, and that's what helped him to become a memorable player that is now in a TED Talk. So anyways, as far as like a career would go, don't be afraid to forge your own career path. It might not look the same as everybody else. It might not be the exact same as every other Huntsman scholar or the exact same as every student at Utah State. Do your own thing. Of course, like, try to be a good person while you do it, right? But like, if you want to do things a little differently, then go for it. I mean, you think of anyone who really made a huge difference in the world, made a big change in the world. They did it because they maybe did something a little different, and that's what left a huge impact. on history and on our communities. So maybe I have to click past this one. It's always a little. Or we can just watch this again. Okay. Prove it on the field, not with your mouth. When it comes to Madden or just anything, fantasy football, just anything, I don't know. Could be like pushing a chair across the room. I'm competitive, and I'm like, I bet I could do it faster than you. Bet I could do it better than you. But I've learned that the only thing worse than losing is losing after you've said you're going to win. So the most important thing I think with Madden or anything is that you actually are proving it on the field. I don't know if anyone recognizes this guy. This is LeVar Ball. And he's like I don't know, in my mind, he's like the epitome of just trash talk with nothing to back it up, right? There you can't see it very well. If you look at the side screens, you can see it a little bit better. But those were his college stats when he was at Washington State. I think that was his final year in college. He averaged 2.2 points per game and 1 assist per game, which is not horrible. It's not bad. But he said later in life that he could beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one if they played. I don't need to show you Michael Jordan's stats for you to know that is blasphemous, right? That is not true. Michael Jordan is a legend. He's the GOAT, arguably, and LeVar Ball is not in that argument, so it's not a contest. He also said that he could beat one of his sons, I think, Lonzo, when Lonzo was doing really well in college. And credit to him, all 3 of his sons have played in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken. LaMelo especially has had a really successful career. So I'm not talking about that as much, but just he talks a lot, and he doesn't really have anything to prove what he's done. He just talks and talks and talks. On the other hand, we have Deion Sanders, not only an incredible athlete, but he's now the coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, their football team. And if you look just at his first year of coaching, he maybe didn't have the most successful season. Not everyone could do that, like Mr. Sprinkle. But Deion, he's done quite a bit for Colorado. He's brought in a lot of talent to that school. He's brought in a lot of swagger to that school. A lot of athletes are really excited to go there. And I think if you look on their Instagram account, when he first got there, they had something like 40,000 followers or 50,000. If I'm not mistaken, they're up over 1 million now. And so that just gives you kind of an idea. In a world of NIL where the brand matters so much, he's brought a brand to Colorado that he increased their win total in their first season. I'm really excited to see what he does in these next few seasons. I think he has a lot of potential to be a really successful coach in college football. And he's a much better example of if you're going to talk, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. The age-old adage, right, is actions speak louder than words. Certainly your words matter, but don't forget that you got to be able to back it up. Don't just talk yourself up in an interview and then not do anything. If you're gonna say things, make sure you can prove it. Make sure you can back it up. And then lastly, don't forget what matters most. When I'm playing Madden or in any competition, I've had to learn that I need to take a breath and that it doesn't really matter, even though it hurts me, it pains me to say that. It doesn't really matter who wins. Maybe. But when I play specifically with my brother, we're both really competitive. This is usually how it ends up. Notice that I'm winning, by the way. But we love to wrestle. It usually ends up this way. And it's still fun in games. I feel like I've done a pretty good job of not letting it go too far because he's one of my best friends. I love that man a lot. He's a good kid. And Madden and whatever competition we're currently engaged in, it matters less than our relationship together. He means a lot to me. He is really close to my heart. And so it would be a shame if I let something like Madden, even though I've spent a lot of time on Madden and I do like that game, it'd be a shame if I let something like that get in the way of our relationship. So I think for us, as Huntsman scholars, we have a really amazing opportunity to pursue careers in a really good spot in our, we're set up, I guess, for really good success. But I think it's important to remember what matters most, never to let a career or some potential gain get in the way of our relationships and our values that matter most to us. So just remember, don't be afraid to do things your own way. Be like white chocolate, right? Prove it on the field, not with your mouth. Don't be like LeVar Ball. And don't forget what matters most. Keep your relationships and your values first always. Thank you.